Hello, Nightwell. It's so good to see you guys.
Hi, good to see you too.
Hello.
And congratulations on the release of the new EP. I haven't spoken yet today. I don't know if it's obvious.
It's okay. I'm just waking up basically. Thank you very much.
How is it going so far?
It's going not bad. Streaming is a wild world right now, and the music industry is just kind of getting its feet back in motion, especially in Canada. So it's been going not bad. Let's say not bad.
Well, I know I went to check when it was release day.
Yes.
And I was like, it's only 3 songs. Like, I always want so much, like I want
sorry.
everything from you. But I also know with the album as well, like the self-titled album was also a pretty quick listen. It's under half an hour. Is that a conscious choice to keep these releases pretty succinct?
Well, the second release was supposed to just be 3 singles.
Okay.
And then we had a small talk about potentially doing it as an EP, and there was a name thrown around, and then it ended up in a press release. So we were just like, okay, I guess we're doing an EP.
Yeah, it was kind of chosen for us.
Gotcha.
Information got leaked, and then we're like, all right, let's put it out as like a sampler or whatever,
demo,
whatever you want to
call it.
And even the self-titled record it got up to 8 songs, so it's in that weird. It's almost like it's technically an LP, but kind of still
Not
an EP.
quite.
Yeah, kind of still an EP. So that wasn't conscious or anything. And then these were supposed to be just 3 singles that ended up
just being
a collection of stuff.
Right.
So.
But you guys are at a point in your career now where you have to deal with info leaks and big press releases.
The first time, but...
Yeah, apparently. I don't know who hacked our Dropbox, but apparently we were putting out an EP. So
very good. I mean, hey, it builds hype, I guess.
I suppose so.
At least Kingdom Leaks is gone, because that's always my favorite, is finding things on there where you're like, how did you even get that?
Yeah, I used to love Kingdom Leaks back in the day.
R.I.P. Another thing though about your music is you guys put together the best music videos. I feel like you guys put so much care and effort into making something really cool that goes with the songs. How does that process come about with the music? Is that something that comes into play while you're creating, or?
No, it's mostly done after the songs have been fully formed and everything. We kind of sit down and try and figure out some ideas of things that we want to do, themes that we want to follow. And then we'll go into other music videos that kind of relate to the idea that we want to do. For Thank You, for example, we wanted to go more of the hip hop vibe. So we were looking at videos like Slow Tie and Aries and stuff like that and trying to replicate that kind of thing. Whereas Tragic is much more of just a visualizer. We wanted to keep it simple, not so much a music video.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hate Me was just a collaborative project with Alex McFarland Trenches. It was our first time working with him, and we kind of gave him the reins towards the theme of the song, and he came up with some cool ideas.
Well, on that track, you got to work with Brandon from Structures as well.
Mm-hmm.
How was it getting to collaborate with another band kind of from our scene?
It was pretty cool, actually. I didn't know what to expect going into it, because obviously when I thought of Brendan's work, I always just thought of Structures and North Lane and stuff, so I didn't know if it was gonna be the right vibe. But he had done stuff with Jason's side project Flowerless. He had produced a few songs that were kind of we knew we wanted to step into kind of the more heavy production route of pop punk and emo and stuff. So we went in there just to write a song with them, co-write, see what the vibe was, and it ended up being very good vibes.
Are you guys still there?
Frozen. Yeah, sorry, I think it froze there for a second. Are we back?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Just started moving at full speed again.
Okay, sorry about that. Where were we in this question? Did we lose it all?
We lost the end of it, just the last bit.
Oh, Brendan, cool, song good, work nice, keyboard synths. I know working with Brendan was super fun. He took all of our ideas and he just added so many embellishments on top, and him and I worked really hard on just adding a bunch of ear candy to the mix, kind of because we're Jason listens to a lot of hip hop and R&B and stuff, so we wanted to pull a lot of that influences in to the music this time around.
Yeah, I think it had a really cool result. I really like the new tracks, and
Thank you.
it's just nice to hear new stuff from you guys, especially because I was all excited to see your EP release show. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
right
Yeah, that would've
in
been
early
fun.
2020 there.
Yeah,
But,
we literally got shafted on that one.
Yeah.
But it looks like you're getting a redo next weekend.
Yeah, the 27th.
Yes.
I
Kind
can't
of a-
remember where I am in the month anymore, but yeah, I
so
guess
it's our pseudo the EP's been released show.
Yeah,
For
it's the release for both EPs.
Yeah, let's call it a double release. It's just gonna be fun. We'll see what happens.
it's perfect. How are you guys feeling about, getting back to live music and getting on stage again after all this? Yeah.
So good. So we went probably a year and a bit without actually playing music with each other.
Mhm.
And then we had started releasing the record and started prepping for the show, and we had never played the songs together before. So that was
Oh my God.
Yeah, gonna have to getting our footing again, especially with stuff that kind of sounds a little bit different than what we've done before.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's fun, and it's nice to see. I've been to a few shows here, and like, I don't know, it kind of like it's bringing back like nostalgic feelings because the shows have been packed.
Yeah.
Like, which is like super nice. Like going to like a Sneaky D show for like a random local band, and there's like 200 people there. It's like, it's pretty nice to see, and I hope like that kind of like people wanting to go out and do stuff keeps going, especially in our music scene.
It feels like
Definitely.
2010 again.
It really does.
Big
Yeah,
pop.
it was kind of weird.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, I felt like I was like in high school again, going to like a
Mhm.
local show and like everyone's there. It's been kind of cool.
Yeah, I haven't been yet. I think your show is going to be my first one back.
Perfect.
I'm pretty excited.
Looking forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, try not to
Yeah.
let you down.
Oh my God, please. I haven't heard live music in 2 years. Anything is going to blow my mind. I'm going to just pass out in the middle of the room.
Yeah,
It's great. But yeah, I guess, I mean, it's kind of weird because usually you would have put out, the album and then had a whole touring cycle and all sorts of things to learn and pick up along the way before putting out another release. But you've kind of like been in a bit of a limbo in between.
Yeah, definitely.
We
Yeah.
had to cancel a bunch of stuff at the beginning of COVID, obviously. And this is coming out, and shows aren't still fully back yet, and the border's just opening, so we haven't been able to really book anything to support either record.
Mhm.
So all of our streams and stuff have literally just been through hopes that we get on Spotify playlists and Discover Weekly and like all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we can get back to going into playing some shows again and getting our music to people. That would be nice.
Yeah. When you have to rely on just like random algorithms and like the attention of the Spotify overlords,
Yeah.
I feel like it can feel a little uncreative as well because you're just like playing for the algorithm. How do you guys keep sort of your creativity and enthusiasm alive through what we've just been through?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tricky thing because obviously like streaming has brought like a resurgence into people being able to put out music and make some sort of like monetization from it. But that being said, there is definitely certain algorithm keys that you have to hit in like any genre of music. I don't think it like distracts us creatively at all, just because like we're already trying to kind of hit like certain like milestones in the song. Like our songs are like super pop structured anyway, so I'm not worried about like hitting a chorus by a certain amount of time, and our songs aren't like 17-minute long like jazz band stuff, so that's okay. But it is a little daunting when you're putting out music, especially in a time like this where streaming and like sales are down in music in general. And yeah, like as a very small band, you do kind of have to rely on the Spotify overlords a bit to help push your music into like to people who might not know about you. And it's kind of like a numbers game in that way. And playlisting is very down right now. Like I know Spotify had let go of some like of their departments during the pandemic, and it's not only it's like it's key for smaller bands to get playlisted to get their numbers up, but even like way bigger bands than us didn't get playlisted for big releases. So it's a little soul crushing sometimes when you think you're going to get a certain thing and then you don't, but just got to kind of keep plugging away, I guess.
Yeah, there's a bunch of playlists I used to love, and when I check them now, they haven't even been updated in like 3 years.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So long. A lot of them haven't been updated. A lot of ones I listen to too have been just like the same thing since before the pandemic. And
it seems like a lot of the alternative stuff, like the metal and the pop punk and all that stuff,
all the niche
and it's funny because I feel like our scene is so engaged and so like your whole personality is like attached to this scene and like the bands you find and like finding them first. So it's like, I feel like that is such a big part that they would be important to them because there's so many people, but I guess it is still like niche to a degree. But it's sad to see that like we're the ones that got swept aside in the cuts.
Yeah, it's interesting. I agree with that. Like I would say like growing up finding music as like my whole thing like growing up was finding alternative music that no one had heard yet. And it like it really spoke to me. Like mainstream stuff never really did anything to me like passion wise. But it's unfortunate that like like still like a Spotify playlist and getting your like your monthly listeners up is still very like it correlates to if people like you or not. Like it's still it's definitely a popularity game in some sort of degree. And like having someone find your music, it really speaks to them and them showing their friends. And it's harder to do that when we've like smaller bands are kind of playing to the same audience they've been playing to for the past like couple of years now, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if shows are as packed as you're saying they are, first off, I can't believe I'm going to be in a room with that many people so soon. But
it's a little overwhelming for the first little bit, then you kind of even out a little bit.
But everyone's been pretty safe about it. Like the Bay Street Brass show in Toronto the other day, lots of people wearing masks. Everyone's vaccinated.
Everyone's wearing masks.
That's good.
It's as safe as the environment can get.
But hopefully that means. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's hard not to feel complacent after being home for 2 years and like something that was normal before, like going to a show, seems like kind of like a big like leap out of your comfort zone now. So
but if people are as packing those rooms, it sounds like people are ready for music discovery, and maybe the lack of being able to find things on Spotify is going to bring more people out. So maybe
that's what
maybe it'll end up being
one
positives and negatives of that.
We'll see. Maybe there's a silver lining. We'll see what happens.
That's what we'll hope for. But I mean, one of the probably the more positive things in the pandemic is that as a band, you guys are very self-sufficient. You are able to do a lot of the things that you do on your own. You can produce stuff, you can record everything and share it with people. Whereas a lot of bands would have had to wait for, once it's safe to go back to the recording studio to actually get anything done. How much were you able to get done from that perspective? Like, do you have new things you're already working on, or?
Kinda, yeah. We took a small break from Nightwell music and started working on some just like different genre kind of stuff that we were just playing around just to get the creative juices out. But like during the beginning of the pandemic and anything, it was like a challenge for us to figure out how to do it because the first couple months, like none of us saw each other or anything. That was like before anyone was comfortable with small bubbles or anything like that. So we did a lot of our stuff remote. So like Kyle would be set up in his studio, and then we would all be at our own spaces, and then we would just riff ideas, put them in Dropbox, hop on Discord, chat for a little bit, try and put it down on Kyle's studio setup, and then which is something that we were very lucky we had, because eventually when it came down to it, we could start working on the songs with our lovely, beautiful producer Kyle over here, and get the songs ready for being released. So it was nice. We didn't have to wait all the time.
A lot of Dropbox riffs. And like luckily, like the world of recording now, like I feel like everyone and their like grandma kind of has like some sort of like setup at home. Like some sort of basic setup. So we were able to do like our live release on like Facebook Live or whatever, and able like to put that kind of stuff together our own, and like some cover stuff for fun and like graphics and like little video edits and stuff. And then also, yeah, like still being able to like, when things were safe, still being able to hire a director, but still have like our vision in mind to like what we want to do. So yeah, we're lucky in that sense that we're kind of self-sufficient in those aspects. And it did pay off for sure. I feel like a lot of bands who weren't able to work during the pandemic or be together or like have that like, you know, the drive to go to a studio and do stuff, like I feel like a lot of bands kind of maybe fizzled out from it as well, because it's tough not being able to do anything, like there's no motivation to do it, so why do it, kind of.
Yeah, I actually, because of the way the last few years have gone and how quickly it happened in the beginning, I actually sometimes forget that we put on like a virtual festival, and you guys were one of the you guys were one of the only bands that were able to pull together like a full band set, even though you weren't together. And it was like, it was so much fun to watch and just be like, oh yeah, like this is what it's like.
And we did it so well that we got flagged for our own music.
Yeah.
Like in like 2 seconds. Like this.
God.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
I forgot about that too. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was fun.
Feels like it happened 10 years ago. Jeez.
Yeah, and that was something we really wanted to challenge ourselves with when you guys offered us Doomfest, was like, okay, we're like, how do we do this like not acoustic with Jason? Like, how do we make it fun and make it feel like we're playing a show? So that was kind of a fun like hurdle to get over, and like a challenge for ourselves. Same when we did like the entire record that way too. And it definitely like kept us going. Like anything that was like keeping us working was like a huge positive thing for sure.
Yeah, like we did that Trevor Daniel cover of Falling.
Yeah.
We did that, like the drums were recorded in my basement at home with just like a crappy setup.
Yeah, so
and then the
super
guitars were recorded
DIY.
here.
Yeah, very DIY.
So
but it was fun, yeah.
Have you guys found any other creative outlets through all this? Anything else that you've been working on besides music or besides Nightwell?
I was about to say, I got into collecting Pokemon cards like most of the world did during the pandemic. I watched like one video and I was like, I'm in, let's do this. I already like was consuming it anyway, but I got really into Pokemon cards, and then
you can't see it, but he's got
I got a lot.
I was wondering what you guys were looking at.
I got a lot of shit up there. And then also like after the first little bit, like once restrictions were lifted, especially for studios, I feel like I've just been working on music this like entire time. So I've been pretty creatively fulfilled. And then, you know, Pokemon cards are pretty sick too. Yeah. So that's cool.
That's good. Terrance, are you also collecting Pokemon cards? Is this like a group effort?
It was a group effort. I stopped because you know it's expensive.
Because it's a waste of money.
Yeah. But yeah, the first couple of months I pretty much just spent my whole time playing video games. I dabbled with streaming for a little bit, but you know, now we're just back to work.
Yeah, lots of writing too during
lots of writing.
Yeah, during the time off. We really took our time, especially with these 3 songs too. Like really took our time with them.
These 3 songs came, it was like 14 songs at first, and then we like pieced together to 3 songs.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question. Yeah, I think, what do you end up doing? Like would any of those songs potentially still come out in future, or?
Yeah.
Not as they are right now, but we definitely pull more parts from those songs. There's 2 songs in particular in there that I definitely want to pull from for future releases. But yeah, we'll pull like a bridge from this song and just be like, oh, that chorus is good. So we'll just.
Yeah, and like doing this, like kind of like shifting genres a little bit, like going definitely more like the like leaning towards the pop aspect of things. Like we chose the songs that felt best suited for that genre, and like a big reason why we did like the 3 singles or the sampler or whatever versus a record is just to also gauge like how people would like respond to it. And like and how we would feel about it after putting it out too. So yeah, there's still definitely a lot of stuff in the back pocket for any like future stuff and what we want to do next, which might not even be the same thing. Who knows? We're kind of we're all over the place.
We've got one demo that sounds like new MGK. We've got one demo that sounds like Dance Gavin Dance. We've got a demo that sounds like
it's like death metal songs.
Yeah.
We got a lot like post-hardcore. A lot of random shit.
Well, I guess that kind of fits as well now that you guys are distributing through Blood Blast. That was something else I actually really wanted to ask you about, because I think that's a cool choice to go with picking a distributor instead of a record label.
Yes.
What was
Well,
that choice like for you guys?
We always wanted to remain as independent as we can.
Mhm.
Record labels are great, don't get me wrong, but we very much would like to hold on to our music. We spent a lot of time and money working on it, so it just feels like it's something that we want to keep for ourselves. So working with Blood Blast for distribution was great. We get to keep our music. They help us get shared and spread the word around, and they're happy and we're happy, so it's great.
Yeah, we chose them to, like, the deal structure was good, and then also, like, we were the only band on Blood Blast that wasn't like like cattle decapitation or like crypto fuck or something random like that. So it was like kind of like them testing the waters as well as us to see if they could bring in a more like pop structured band and see how they could push it, and like vice versa. It's like we were the only band like that on the roster, so we feel like it was like a good extra attention to detail. So,
and Bryce and the whole Blood Blast team was very communicative,
yes,
and very nice to work with. So it was a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
With live music coming back and everything kind of, coming back to normal, and you can actually tour some of this music, what are the things that we can do as your audience and your fans to help support you as you get back to being Nightwell in public?
Buy merch.
I feel like it's probably the same for most bands, especially in our local scene.
Come hang out.
Go to a show, just go. So many people, again, which is why I was like so happy to see so many people at a show, because it's like, especially in like, if you go to like a bill with a bunch of smaller bands, people are like, yeah, we'll be there, and then they never show up. So yeah, go to a show, like buy a shirt, like that kind of stuff helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Share it, like the song on Spotify, share it on Spotify. It's pretty easy. Just like consume the music how you would consume any other of your favorite huge bands. Like it goes like that little step, like playing a song or buying a shirt goes like miles for smaller bands. It really does help a lot. Yeah.
For sure. Well, I'll see you guys at the show next weekend. Thank you so much for making the time to talk to me today.
Thank you so much, Paige.